In this video, we are going to be creating this with JavaScript. Okay, so welcome back. Quick notice before we dive right into the tutorial. I want to inform you that this video is only for the JavaScript aspect. So I'm only going to be walking you through the JavaScript aspect. The code for the HTML and CSS in the description below, so you can head down to my GitHub and download it. So I also want you to comment in the description, or sorry, in the comment section, if you want to see a video on my HTML, CSS, how I came about with my UI, all those other stuff, so I can explain and do some other stuff. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to download the HTML code. So after I've downloaded the HTML code, you want to understand what is going on here, the header, the body, how I came about with this. This is just a basic simple design. It's a simple design, but how I came about with this stuff. So after that, you want to head down to your JavaScript to code along. So now, the first thing you need to do in your JavaScript is to declare a variable. So when you declare a variable and you assign a number to it, later on we can be incrementing, decrementing, and saving that number. So for us to declare a variable, I'm going to declare a variable with the variable declarator let. So I'll say let num. Num just short for numbers. I'm just naming it num is equals to 0. So I'm going to save that. So later on, we're going to be incrementing, changing this number, we are assigning the number to our variable num. So now the next thing you want to do is to, if I refresh my browser and I click on this button, you can find out that now none of them here is working because of I've already disabled my JavaScript. So now what I want now is when I click this button, I want this 0 to change. So before we can do anything, we have to grab every element that we are going to be using. So four of us grab this button, then we'll grab this button, we'll grab this button, we'll grab this button, we'll grab this 0, and we'll grab this element here. So we'll grab this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph. I just made the paragraph so it'll be easy to code along. So we need to grab every element that we're going to be using. That means we're going to be speaking to the DOM. So first thing to do is to head down to the HTML. That's why I was saying that you need to first understand what is going on in the HTML first. So you can see we have a p tag here, we have another p tag here with previous entry. So these two p tags are these p tags here. We have our button here. So quick one to save this tutorial. I'm going to speed up this code, this section, so that but you can do this. You can see what I'm doing. But I'm just going to speed up this section so I can write the code to the screen.
We're running out of time, chasing the lies. Every day a small piece of you dies. Always somebody you're willing to fight to be right. Your lies are bullets, your mouth's a gun, and no war and anger was ever won. Put out the fire before igniting. Next time you're fighting, kill him with kindness, kill him with kindness, kill him, kill him, kill him with kindness, kill him with kindness, kill him with kindness. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead now. Go ahead, now. Your lies are bullets, your mouth's a gun, and no war and anger was ever won. Put out the fire.
So the next thing for us to do now is to add event listeners to this button. We want to add event listener. So when we click on this button, our number to change should change. So what we do is that we grab that button, we get that button. So the name of this button here is, the name of the DOM here is increment btn. So we say increment dot add event listener. So when we add event listener, I want you to carry something. What do you want it to carry? We want is that, okay, when we click, you can also say that when I double click, when I mouse over it, there are different kind of function. So there are different ways to solve different problem, but we're just going to take this simple step, and I'm going to explain what I'm doing. So the next thing for us to do is to put a comma, then create our function. Now after I've already put the function, now we need to write our code inside the function so that it's going to carry out the specific code. So after I've created the function, what we want to do next is to do this. So what we are doing here is we're just incrementing 1 to 8. Basically what this means is equals to number plus 1. So this is the same thing as this. So if we save this code and I head down to my JavaScript and my browser and I refresh and I click on this code, nothing is going to happen because we're just incrementing 1. We're not changing this number, we're not grabbing this number, we're not doing anything with this DOM. So the next thing for us to do is to grab that element. So what we need to do is to take this element since it's num_l and come here. So we say num dot inner html to change the stuff, then num. So now you can see that here that we assign this num to plus plus, that we already added 1 to this num. So every time you click on this button, anytime you click, let me just comment and say, and just type in this. So every time we click on this increment button, it's going to carry out this function. So if I save this and I head down to my browser and I click this button, boom, you find out that it's changing. So as long as you keep clicking on this button, it's going to be changing. So the next thing for us to do is to create our document button. When we click on this button, we want to create this button that, okay, when we click on this button, Mr. Browser, remove 1 from this, remove 1, and so on. So next thing for us to do is just so that we just save time. I'm going to copy this code, head down to my design and change this to decrement. Then I'm going to this, since we're already grabbing this element. In case you don't understand anything, you can leave a comment in this section below on what you don't understand, so I can re-explain it later. So I'm going to change it to decrement, that okay, when I click on this button, carry out this function. Okay, so add event listener on click. So what we want to do here, just put minus, simple as ABC. So when we put minus and we save it and we refresh our browser, so if I click on this button, it's going to be decrementing. So plus means number is equals to number plus 1. Num minus is equals to means num minus means num is equals to number minus 1. So we are just incrementing and decrementing. These are just shorthand that you can use to just save us time. So the next thing for us to do is to create our save button. We want to save this number to our previous entry. So I'm just going to copy this, head down to my HTML and change this to save. Okay, then I'm going to grab this my save button here. Okay, so when I click on my save button, what do I want it to do? Now the first thing I want it to do, let me refresh my browser, is to take this 0 and put it here. So now the first thing I want it to do is when I click on save, it will take any number that is there and save it here. So what we want to do is to head down to our JavaScript. And grab this element. So here we have save L. So in our save L, okay, we say save L dot inner HTML is equals to, then we'll put num. Yeah, there's going to be error and bugs in this one. I'm going to be explaining so it will look like the first video we showed in the beginning. So if I save this, you find out that it does carry this 0 and put it here. So what we want to do is that, okay, when I click on this button, I still want it to retain this previous content that is my h1. So what I'm going to do is to just add plus to it. So adding plus to it is almost the same thing with this. So we're just saying save l.inner html is equal to save l plus number. So if I save this and I head down to my browser and I refresh, if I click this, boom, you find out that it's still retaining this previous entry. It's still going to retain the previous entry, and as long as I click on this button, it's going to be giving me the num. So what I want to do is just to add let me just add this at the front. So I'm going to concatenate it to it. So let me just boom, 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 boom. So you're going to keep doing this. These are just basic stuff. You save this, decrement 0. Yeah, this when we save and we are tired of saving, we want to reset this. Okay, I think let me concatenate a space here so to make our work look more neater. Refresh, save. Yeah, I think this looks better. Now back to our reset button. When we click this button, we want to reset everything in the both elements, not in our browser. We just want to reset this element and reset this element. So basically what we want to do is just to remove this, change it back to 0. So now in my I'm going to copy this, and change this to reset button, and change this btn to reset. I want to grab my reset button. Okay, so now my reset.add event listener click function also simple thing we explained in the former video. So what we want to do is to change our num back is equals to reassign our num back to 0. So when we reassign our num back to 0, we want to change the element back to 0. So we say num l plus inner html is equals to 0. So if I head down to my html, refresh my browser, increment, reset, find out I point 0, and it's going to start from 1 again because of I already set my num to 0. So it's going to, anytime I refresh 0, it's going to start from 1. If I remove this 0, if I comment out my 0 and I refresh my browser, if I click on, if I increment and reset, and I increment again, it's going to start from the previous number. So we need to change to always, we want it to always start from 0. That's how we are assigning our num to 0. So now we find out that when we increment and we save, and we reset, it's only changing this, it's not changing this. We want to reset everything. So what we are going to do is to grab this element and change it to 0. So next thing for us to do is just to grab this save l element here, bring it here, paste it, is equals to. So we don't want to use plus sign so that it's not going to keep the previous element that is inside, because we're going to keep everything. So what we want to do is just to copy our previous entry, head down here, then change it to a string. So that, okay, when I click on this button, do this, it's going to change my 0 to my num 0 to 0, my element here to 0, and it's going to change this to previous entry. So if I refresh my browser and I increment, I save, I reset, find that increment, save, reset. So our code is working perfectly fine. So one more bonus I want to add to this topic is that when we click on this button, if we for example are using our code to do something and we're implementing, saving, and you did mistake and you just reset it, we don't want that to happen. So we want that, okay, you have to double click on your reset before it reset everything. So in our function here, we just change it to dbl to double click. So it's just a function in JavaScript. So by refresh my browser, increment, save, if I click, it's not going to work. So once I double click before it resets off. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.